The new god of fission. The new gods of fission. The new god of fission. The new goddess of fission. The new goddesses of fission. The new goddess of fission. The old god of fission. The old gods of fission. The old god of fission. The old goddess of fission. The old goddesses of fission. The old goddess of fission. The greater god of fission. The greater gods of fission. The greater god of fission. The greater goddess of fission. The greater goddesses of fission. The greater goddess of fission. The lesser god of fission. The lesser gods of fission. The lesser god of fission. The lesser goddess of fission. The lesser goddesses of fission. The lesser goddess of fission. The higher god of fission. The higher gods of fission. The higher god of fission. The higher goddess of fission. The higher goddesses of fission. The higher goddess of fission. The lower god of fission. The lower gods of fission. The lower god of fission. The lower goddess of fission. The lower goddesses of fission. The lower goddess of fission. The greater spirit of fission. The greater spirits of fission. The greater spirit of fission. The lesser spirit of fission. The lesser spirits of fission. The lesser spirit of fission. The higher spirit of fission. The higher spirits of fission. The higher spirit of fission. The lower spirit of fission. The lower spirits of fission. The lower spirit of fission. The major god of fission. The major gods of fission. The major god of fission. The major goddess of fission. The major goddesses of fission. The major goddess of fission. The minor god of fission. The minor gods of fission. The minor god of fission. The minor goddess of fission. The minor goddesses of fission. The minor goddess of fission. The superior god of fission. The superior gods of fission. The superior god of fission. The superior goddess of fission. The superior goddesses of fission. The superior goddess of fission. The inferior god of fission. The inferior gods of fission. The inferior god of fission. The inferior goddess of fission. The inferior goddesses of fission. The inferior goddess of fission. The ancestor god of fission. The ancestor gods of fission. The ancestor god of fission. The ancestor goddess of fission. The ancestor goddesses of fission. The ancestor goddess of fission. The ascendant god of fission. The ascendant gods of fission. The ascendant god of fission. The ascendant goddess of fission. The ascendant goddesses of fission. The ascendant goddess of fission. The descendant god of fission. The descendant gods of fission. The descendant god of fission. The descendant goddess of fission. The descendant goddesses of fission. The descendant goddess of fission. The transcendent god of fission. The transcendent gods of fission. The transcendent god of fission. The transcendent goddess of fission. The transcendent goddesses of fission. The transcendent goddess of fission. The past god of fission. The past gods of fission. The past god of fission. The past goddess of fission. The past goddesses of fission. The past goddess of fission. The present god of fission. The present gods of fission. The present god of fission. The present goddess of fission. The present goddesses of fission. The present goddess of fission. The future god of fission. The future gods of fission. The future god of fission. The future goddess of fission. The future goddesses of fission. The future goddess of fission. The authentic god of fission. The authentic gods of fission. The authentic god of fission. The authentic goddess of fission. The authentic goddesses of fission. The authentic goddess of fission. The synthetic god of fission. The synthetic gods of fission. The synthetic god of fission. The synthetic goddess of fission. The synthetic goddesses of fission. The synthetic goddess of fission. The progressive god of fission. The progressive gods of fission. The progressive god of fission. The progressive goddess of fission. The progressive goddesses of fission. The progressive goddess of fission. The regressive god of fission. The regressive gods of fission. The regressive god of fission. The regressive goddess of fission. The regressive goddesses of fission. The regressive goddess of fission. The ordinary god of fission. The ordinary gods of fission. The ordinary god of fission. The ordinary goddess of fission. The ordinary goddesses of fission. the ordinary goddess of fission, the extraordinary god of fission, the extraordinary gods of fission, the extraordinary god of fission, the extraordinary goddess of fission, the extraordinary goddesses of fission, the extraordinary goddess of fission, the static god of fission, the static gods of fission, the static god of fission, the static goddess of fission, the static goddesses of fission, the static goddess of fission, the dynamic god of fission, the dynamic gods of fission, the dynamic god of fission, the dynamic goddess of fission, the dynamic goddesses of fission, the dynamic goddess of fission, the land god of fission, the land gods of fission, the land god of fission, the land goddess of fission, the land goddesses of fission, the land goddess of fission, the sea god of fission, the sea gods of fission, the sea god of fission, the sea goddess of fission, the sea goddesses of fission, the sea goddess of fission, the sky god of fission, the sky gods of fission, the sky god of fission, the sky goddess of fission, the sky goddesses of fission, the sky goddess of fission, the god of fission, the gods of fission, the god of fission, the goddess of fission, the goddesses of fission, the goddess of fission, the half god of fission, the half gods of fission, the half god of fission, the half goddess of fission, the half goddesses of fission, the half goddess of fission, the vessel of fission, the vessels of fission, the vessel of fission, the name of fission, the names of fission, the name of fission, the person of fission, the persons of fission, the person of fission, the persona of fission, the personas of fission, the persona of fission, the personage of fission, the personages of fission, the personage of fission, the personality of fission, the personalities of fission, the personality of fission, the personification of fission, the personifications of fission, the personification of fission, the image of fission, the images of fission, the image of fission, the imagination of fission, the imaginations of fission, the imagination of fission, the belief of fission, the beliefs of fission, the belief of fission, the thought of fission, the thoughts of fission, the thought of fission, the word of fission, the words of fission, the word of fission, the action of fission, the actions of fission, the action of fission, the reaction of fission, the reactions of fission, the reaction of fission, the feeling of fission, the feelings of fission, the feeling of fission, the situation of fission, the situations of fission, the situation of fission, the circumstance of fission, the circumstances of fission, the circumstance of fission, the environment of fission, the environments of fission, the environment of fission, the relationship of fission, the relationships of fission, the relationship of fission, the number of fission, the numbers of fission, the number of fission, the formula of fission, the formulas of fission, the formula of fission, the equation of fission, the equations of fission, the equation of fission, the theory of fission, the theories of fission, the theory of fission, the symbol of fission, the symbols of fission, the symbol of fission, the color of fission, the colors of fission, the color of fission, the thing of fission, the things of fission, the thing of fission, the way of fission, the ways of fission, the way of fission, the place of fission, the places of fission, the place of fission, the time of fission, the times of fission, the time of fission, the event of fission, the events of fission, the event of fission, the result of fission, the results of fission, the result of fission, the crown of fission, the crowns of fission, the crown of fission, the throne of fission, the thrones of fission, the throne of fission, the fission king, the fission kings, the fission kingdom, the fission kingdoms, the fission king's subject, the fission king's subjects, the fission king's dominion, the fission king's dominions, the kingdom of fission, the kingdoms of fission, the kingdom of fission, the fission queen, the fission queens, the fission queendom, the fission queendoms, the fission queen subject, the fission queen subjects, the Fission Queen's dominion, the Fission Queen's dominions, the Queendom of Fission, the Queendoms of Fission, the Queendom of Fission, the Fission Prince, the Fission Princes, the Fission Princedom, the Fission Princedoms, the Fission Prince's subject, the Fission Prince's subjects, the Fission Prince's dominion, the Fission Prince's dominions, the Princedom of Fission, the Princedoms of Fission, the Princedom of Fission, the Fission Princess, the Fission Princesses, the Fission Princessdom, the Fission Princessdoms, the Fission Princess's subject, the Fission Princess's subjects, the Fission Princess's dominion, the Fission Princess's dominions, the Princessdom of Fission, the Princessdoms of Fission, the Princessdom of Fission, the Lord of Fission, the Lords of Fission, the Lord of Fission, the Lordess of Fission, the Lordesses of Fission, the Lordess of Fission, the Priest of Fission, the Priests of Fission, the Priest of Fission, the Priestess of Fission, the Priestesses of Fission, the Priestess of Fission, the Ritual of Fission, the Rituals of Fission, the Ritual of Fission, the Shrine of Fission, the Shrines of Fission, the Shrine of Fission, the Temple of Fission, the Temples of Fission, the Temple of Fission, the Leader of Fission, the Leaders of Fission, the Leader of Fission, the Follower of Fission, the Followers of Fission, the Follower of Fission, the Natural Substance of Fission, the Natural Substances of Fission, the Natural Substance of Fission, the Supernatural Substance of Fission, the Supernatural Substances of Fission, the Supernatural Substance of Fission, the Temporal Substance of Fission, the Temporal Substances of Fission, the Temporal Substance of Fission, the Spiritual Substance of Fission, the Spiritual Substances of Fission, the Spiritual Substance of Fission, the Natural Form of Fission, the Natural Forms of Fission, the Natural Form of Fission, the Supernatural Form of Fission, the Supernatural Forms of Fission, the Supernatural Form of Fission, the Temporal Form of Fission, the Temporal Forms of Fission, the Temporal Form of Fission, the Spiritual Form of Fission, the Spiritual Forms of Fission, the Spiritual Form of Fission, the Age of Fission, the Ages of Fission, the Age of Fission, the Era of Fission, the Eras of Fission, the Era of Fission, the Awakener of Fission, the Awakeners of Fission, the Awakener of Fission, the Awakening of Fission, the Awakenings of Fission, the Awakening of Fission, the Realm of Fission, the Realms of Fission, the Realm of Fission, the Dimension of Fission, the Dimensions of Fission, the Dimension of Fission, the Zone of Fission, the Zones of Fission, the Zone of Fission, the Frequency of Fission, the Frequencies of Fission, the Frequency of Fission, the Century of Fission, the Centuries of Fission, the Century of Fission, the Millennium of Fission, the Millenniums of Fission, the Millennium of Fission, the Purpose of Fission, the Purposes of Fission, the Purpose of Fission, the Meaning of Fission, the Meanings of Fission, the Meaning of Fission, the Culture of Fission, the Cultures of Fission, the Culture of Fission, the Demonstrator of Fission, the Demonstrators of Fission, the Demonstrator of Fission, the Demonstration of Fission, the Demonstrations of Fission, the Demonstration of Fission, the Manifester of Fission, the Manifestors of Fission, the Manifester of Fission, the Manifestation of Fission, the Manifestations of Fission, the Manifestation of Fission, the Presence of Fission, the Presences of Fission, the Presence of Fission, the Glow of Fission, the Glows of Fission, the Glow of Fission, the Goal of Fission, the Goals of Fission, the Goal of Fission, the Plan of Fission, the Plans of Fission, the Plan of Fission, the Book of Fission, the Books of Fission, the Book of Fission, the Philosopher of Fission, the Philosophers of Fission, the Philosopher of Fission, the Philosophy of Fission, the Philosophies of Fission, the Philosophy of Fission, the Releaser of Fission, the Releasers of Fission, the Releaser of Fission, the Release of Fission, the Releases of Fission, the Release of Fission, the Variable of Fission, the Variables of Fission, the Variable of Fission, the Cause of Fission, the Causes of Fission, the Cause of Fission, The effect of fission. The effects of fission. The effect of fission. The journey of fission. The journeys of fission. The journey of fission. The emergence of fission. The emergences of fission. The emergence of fission. The source of fission. The sources of fission. The source of fission. The originator of fission. The originators of fission. The originator of fission. The origin of fission. The origins of fission. The origin of fission. The forefather of fission. The forefathers of fission. The forefather of fission. The foremother of fission. The foremothers of fission. The foremother of fission. The ancestor of fission. The ancestors of fission. The ancestor of fission. The descendant of fission. The descendants of fission. The descendant of fission. The lineage of fission. The lineages of fission. The lineage of fission. The heritage of fission. The heritages of fission. The heritage of fission. The heir of fission. The heirs of fission. The heir of fission. The co-heir of fission. The co-heirs of fission. The co-heir of fission. The joint heir of fission. The joint heirs of fission. The joint heir of fission. The dynasty of fission. The dynasties of fission. The dynasty of fission. The force of fission. The forces of fission. The force of fission. The law of fission. The laws of fission. The law of fission. The pact of fission. The pacts of fission. The pact of fission. The game of fission. The games of fission. The game of fission. The mask of fission. The masks of fission. The mask of fission. The armor of fission. The armors of fission. The armor of fission. The sword of fission. The swords of fission. The sword of fission. The shield of fission. The shields of fission. The shield of fission. The force shield of fission. The force shields of fission. The force shield of fission. The armored force shield of fission. The armored force shields of fission. The armored force shield of fission. The champion of fission. The champions of fission. The champion of fission. The guardian of fission. The guardians of fission. The guardian of fission. The defender of fission. The defenders of fission. The defender of fission. The protector of fission. The protectors of fission. The protector of fission. The chant of fission. The chants of fission. The chant of fission. The shape of fission. The shapes of fission. The shape of fission. The cube of fission. The cubes of fission. The cube of fission. The cuboid of fission. The cuboids of fission. The cuboid of fission. The sphere of fission. The spheres of fission. The sphere of fission. The spheroid of fission. The spheroids of fission. The spheroid of fission. The prism of fission. The prisms of fission. The prism of fission. The pyramid of fission. The pyramids of fission. The pyramid of fission. The cylinder of fission. The cylinders of fission. The cylinder of fission. The cone of fission. The cones of fission. The cone of fission. The triangle of fission. The triangles of fission. The triangle of fission. The circle of fission. The circles of fission. The circle of fission. The semicircle of fission. The semicircles of fission. The semicircle of fission. The square of fission. The squares of fission. The square of fission. The rectangle of fission. The rectangles of fission. The rectangle of fission. The parallelogram of fission. The parallelograms of fission. The parallelogram of fission. The rhombus of fission. The rhombuses of fission. The rhombus of fission. The trapezoid of fission. The trapezoids of fission. The trapezoid of fission. The polygon of fission. The polygons of fission. The polygon of fission. The pentagon of fission. The pentagons of fission. The pentagon of fission. The hexagon of fission. The hexagons of fission. The hexagon of fission. The septagon of fission. The septagons of fission. The septagon of fission. The octagon of fission. The octagons of fission. The octagon of fission. The nonagon of fission. The nonagons of fission. The nonagon of fission. The decagon of fission. The decagons of fission. The decagon of fission. The evolution of fission. The evolutions of fission. The evolution of fission. The revolution of fission. The revolutions of fission. The revolution of fission. The elemental art of fission. The elemental arts of fission. The elemental art of fission. The elemental science of fission. The elemental sciences of fission. The elemental science of fission. The elemental principle of fission. The elemental principles of fission. The elemental principle of fission. The elemental technology of fission. The elemental technologies of fission. The elemental technology of fission. The low elemental art of fission. The low elemental arts of fission. The low elemental art of fission. The low elemental science of fission. The low elemental sciences of fission. The low elemental science of fission. The low elemental principle of fission. The low elemental principles of fission. The low elemental principle of fission. The low elemental technology of fission. The low elemental technologies of fission. The low elemental technology of fission. The high elemental art of fission. The high elemental arts of fission. The high elemental art of fission. The high elemental science of fission. The high elemental sciences of fission. The high elemental science of fission. The high elemental principle of fission. The high elemental principles of fission. The high elemental principle of fission. The high elemental technology of fission. The high elemental technologies of fission. The high elemental technology of fission. The agent of fission. The agents of fission. The agent of fission. The agency of fission. The agencies of fission. The agency of fission. The amplifier of fission. The amplifiers of fission. The amplifier of fission. The amplification of fission. The amplifications of fission. The amplification of fission. The enhancer of fission. The enhancers of fission. The enhancer of fission. The enhancement of fission. The enhancements of fission. The enhancement of fission. The magnifier of fission. The magnifiers of fission. The magnifier of fission. The magnification of fission. The magnifications of fission. The magnification of fission. The influencer of fission. The influencers of fission. The influencer of fission. The influence of fission. The influences of fission. The influence of fission. The emanator of fission. The emanators of fission. The emanator of fission. The emanation of fission. The emanations of fission. The emanation of fission. The converger of fission. The convergers of fission. The converger of fission. The convergence of fission. The convergences of fission. The convergence of fission. The aura of fission. The auras of fission. The aura of fission. The impression of fission. The impressions of fission. The impression of fission. The intelligence of fission. The intelligences of fission. The intelligence of fission. The sophistication of fission. The sophistications of fission. The sophistication of fission. The genius of fission. The geniuses of fission. The genius of fission. The polymath of fission. The polymaths of fission. The polymath of fission. The psychic of fission. The psychics of fission. The psychic of fission. The knowledge of fission. The knowledges of fission. The knowledge of fission. The understanding of fission. The understandings of fission. The understanding of fission. The wisdom of fission. The wisdoms of fission. The wisdom of fission. The secret of fission. The secrets of fission. The secret of fission. The mystery of fission. The mysteries of fission. The mystery of fission. The revelation of fission. The revelations of fission. The revelation of fission. The tactic of fission. The tactics of fission. The tactic of fission. The strategy of fission. The strategies of fission. The strategy of fission. The strength of fission. The strengths of fission. The strength of fission. The might of fission. The mights of fission. The might of fission. The power of fission. The powers of fission. The power of fission. The authority of fission. The authorities of fission. The authority of fission. The dominion of fission. The dominions of fission. The dominion of fission. The rhythm of fission. The rhythms of fission. The rhythm of fission. The melody of fission. The melodies of fission. The melody of fission. The music of fission. The musics of fission. The music of fission. The lyric of fission. The lyrics of fission. The lyric of fission. The song of fission. The songs of fission. The song of fission. The dance of fission. The dances of fission. The dance of fission. the spirit of fission, the spirits of fission, the spirit of fission, the soul of fission, the souls of fission, the soul of fission, the body of fission, the bodies of fission, the body of fission, the mark of fission, the marks of fission, the mark of fission, the promise of fission, the promises of fission, the promise of fission, the visionary of fission, the visionaries of fission, the visionary of fission, the vision of fission, the visions of fission, the vision of fission, the picture of fission, the pictures of fission, the picture of fission, the sound of fission, the sounds of fission, the sound of fission, the dung of fission, the dungs of fission, the dung of fission, the language of fission, the languages of fission, the language of fission, the communication of fission, the communications of fission, the communication of fission, the people of fission, the peoples of fission, the people of fission, the society of fission, the societies of fission, the society of fission, the fortress of fission, the fortresses of fission, the fortress of fission, the government of fission, the governments of fission, the government of fission, the city of fission, the cities of fission, the city of fission, the nation of fission, the nations of fission, the nation of fission, the civilization of fission, the civilizations of fission, the civilization of fission, the world of fission, the worlds of fission, the world of fission,